Ice Arena for the 22nd annual Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic here on CCX Sports. Our second game of this night on the North Rink. It's the host team, the Armstrong Cooper Wings, as they take on the Willmar Cardinals. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, no doubt about it, it's been a little bit of a struggle scoring this year for Armstrong Cooper. They come in without a victory. However, they've played some pretty tough competition along the way, probably more so than most of the teams in this tournament.
Well, yeah, they got Blaine, Maple Grove, Centennial, all rated teams doing very well. I mean, that's a meat grinder to go through. Plus, that they played a Champlain Park Coon Rapids team that's a pretty doggone good team, too. So, you know, you kind of got to look at that record a little bit crookedly, although they are having trouble scoring goals. The power play is non-existent, and if they can get that going and a few other things, it might turn around. But last two games, or 2 out of the last 3 games, have been 1-goal games, so there is improvement.
Willmar, a team that comes in with a 5-7 record. They were a young team last year. They return almost all of that team. They came to this tournament a year ago and they actually lost Armstrong Cooper, so they have that in the back of their minds a little bit, and they've had a much more solid start this year than they did a year ago.
Yeah, they really did. 5-7 record right now, I believe, and 3 of their top 4 scorers are freshmen, sophomores. So future looks really good, and they can put the puck in the net. They've done a real good job. They play in the Central Lakes Conference. Pretty good conference. Alexandria's in it. We saw the St. Cloud team that was in earlier this season. Not bad. Alex has been in the state tournament a number of times, so I'll be interested to see what they got. They've got good, strong goaltending. Very good led by a senior, and they should be a little different this year than they were last year.
Talk about key players to look at in tonight's contest. We've picked out a couple of the top scorers. Serena Monson is a junior, but she's the elder statesman on her line. A couple of freshmen playing with her. She's had a good start for the Cardinals.
She really has. She's brought those freshmen along really nicely. She's leading the score. She's got like 8 points, but done a good job on the power play, etc. Feeding the puck, tutoring them, getting them all moving. It's a good line. It'll be interesting to watch her as she plays with those 2 freshmen.
And we said AC has had some trouble scoring. Lauren Price has put a couple of pucks away for them this year. They're really trying to get that going. One of their focuses in practice has been on trying to get shots from closer in. Coach Elsa Brusto felt like they were taking too much from the perimeter earlier in the season. They've really been working at getting some shots from below the circle.
Wow, that's really key. One of her goals is a power play goal, which is good. There's another area too. Crowd that net, get it down. That's a good spot to get it down low and work that, because you got a man up. So we'll see if they can do that. She's got to be the one to pick it up, leading scorer. If she can get one, maybe the rest of them will start coming along with her.
All right, should be an entertaining contest here. The opening night of the Holiday Classic here at New Hope Ice Arena. Armstrong Cooper taking on Willmar. We'll have the first period up next here on CCX. And here we go. We are underway here as Armstrong Cooper in white and Willmar in red to begin tonight's contest. Pass goes awry for the Cardinals. A race for the puck here, and Kaylee Londerville, the Armstrong Cooper goalie, the sophomore, coming out to cover that one up. Kaylee this year 0-6 record, 3.8 goals against, and an .864 save percentage for the Wings. Cardinals control the draw. They come back to the point with it here. Hannah Kubinia. That one goes wide. They're able to keep it in, and another opportunity with the puck. Bailey Olson sliding it on net. Londerville with the stick directs that one to the corner. Wings Price coming up with it, but can't get it out of the zone and whip right back down deep. Circling Madison Garberding, one of those talented freshmen for the Cardinals. That blast from the point is wide. Relayed around by Natasha Turbiatis for the Cardinals. Chased down by Paige Olson for Armstrong Cooper. Now Price able to get it at least to center as they try and complete a quick change. Sent now to Maya Monson for Willmar. Her pass deflected. She gets it right back herself. They're changing behind her, and she'll do a nice job to get an offensive zone draw anyway by throwing that one on net as the Cardinals were completing their first line change of the game. We've played a little over a minute of hockey and no score on the board. Much of the play in the Armstrong Cooper zone so far.
Well, that first line for Willmar looked really good. They looked fast on the button, really moving well, and just getting on the puck very quickly.
Another offensive zone faceoff win for the Cardinals as well there. Caitlin Quinn up with the puck now for Armstrong Cooper. Kicks it back to her stick. Quinn with some speed up the middle. And they tap it to the outside here on the right side. Julia Campion. Jumping in to help out there is Olivia Adams now for Armstrong Cooper. Her pass denied. She goes behind the net, and then they come right back for Adams. Adams looking out front, and now another opportunity as they sweep it to the side of the net. And the Cardinals able to come up with it. Savannah Knutsen's in goal for Willmar. We'll talk more about her in a moment as they bring it back to the point now. Caitlin Quinn shooting off the blocker and a big rebound. As Knutsen tested a little bit right there on Armstrong Cooper's first shot of the night. Back the other way hard comes Maya Monson with speed. Monson to the backhand. And a nice save there. Monderville coming up with the stop for the Wings. And now flip back. This is going to be an icing call here against Armstrong Cooper. So a good chance at each end. There's Savannah Knutsen, the junior goalie, has played all the minutes for the Cardinals this year. 5-7 record, 2.67 goals against, and save percentage of .916. So that's one area of the team that they feel solid about.
Yeah, she's real strong in net. Done a very good job. And boy, I tell you what, they got that first line out. Willmar's got that first line out there right away. Looks like he's going to be a two-line shift here for a little while just to see if they get something rolling.
Battle for it behind the net. Madison Garberding comes out of there with it, trying to go back to the point. Flip to the slot. Now a chance down low, and then they follow up. Londerville had to make a nice stop after they fanned on the first try. And once again, pinching in Hannah Kubinia for the Cardinals, one of their captains, and just a solid player, senior, good size, handles the puck well, and she's obviously a good decision maker a couple times on pinching in to keep that puck alive in the offensive zone as well. Kubinia back to get it here for the Cardinals as she's pressured and can't get it out of the zone. Now they'll swing it over weak side and at least bank it on out. Lindsay Winter back to chase it down here for Armstrong Cooper. No score early in this first period here at New Hope Ice Arena for the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic. 22nd year. Boy, it doesn't seem that long ago that we had the first one. And a lot has changed in the sport. Obviously, that was kind of the beginning days of girls hockey back then.
Yep. John and I were talking in the first game. Park Center won the very first one. My daughter played in this tournament twice. And won it a couple times.
You know, and I think for a long time there was, a steady ascension of girls hockey. Now we're starting to see some teams having to co-op numbers-wise and things, but it's kind of settled in, and that's all part of it. You're seeing that in some of the boys' programs as well too. There's a look at Eric Setrum, the coach for the Cardinals, second year as head coach. He's been in their program 8 on the girls' side, and is in fact a graduate of Willmar High School. So it kind of, I think, makes things a little extra special when you're back coaching where you played your high school hockey as well.
What I'm excited about here, Jay, is just seeing some of the smaller towns and putting together good programs here, and seeing the growth of hockey there. We've seen the co-ops having to be done in the cities here, but out in the other areas, girls hockey is putting some good teams together.
Ooh, and a tough shot there, fought off by Knutsen. And that area of the state, the kind of the north central part, was always not really known for hockey nearly as much as northwest Minnesota or the Iron Range area and all that, but they've come a long way. There's Elsa Brustel in her second year with this Armstrong Cooper program, and has worked hard to get things going. I mean, obviously they're not having a ton of success win-loss wise this year, but trying to build things up and do the right things to kind of rejuvenate their program a little bit too.
Well, with that type of situation, you're going to have cycles. You're going to have 2-year cycles when you're good. You're going to have 2-year cycles when you're not so good. Just looks at your youth program and develop that.
Nice breakout here and a rush back for Garberding, and taken off the puck by Quinn. Some of the Cardinals fans thought maybe not so legally. Here's Quinn carrying it in for AC as they're finishing a change behind her. Quinn goes down on a heap behind the net. Cardinals unable to get it out. Thrown back to the front where it's grabbed up there by Kubinia. Swinging it over now. Here's Serena Monson up the left wing waiting for help as they finish a change. And that pass came right back to her off an AC stick. And now the Wings getting it out to center with Lauren Price carrying it in. Price trying to fight off a back check there. Both teams have been a little disjointed on a couple of changes where they're leaving somebody hung out to dry, where they're carrying the puck and there's nobody anywhere near them in a jersey of the same color, so they kind of have to improvise a little bit. There's a long one thrown on net. Knutson directs that aside.
Well, early in the game, it's more important to get off the ice if you're getting tired, and you'll start to establish your rhythm here as the game moves on. And we saw in the first game too, with two teams came out first period pretty sluggish, and then here we got that Christmas layoff thing going on, Jay. And you try not to talk about it, but it's a real thing. You got to get your legs underneath you again.
Yeah, we asked one of the coaches in that first game, Paul Macklin from Princeton, and he said, "Oh yeah, we definitely didn't look like ourselves in the first period, and he didn't think the other team, North Tartan, did really either." So there's no question about it that it takes a little bit to get really back into full speed mode. At the same time, and there's a shot, I think at the same time, a little bit of a break physically and mentally for the girls to get a chance to see their families and be away from school. I think it's a good thing at this time of year, too.
Well, it's the holidays. You're halfway through the season. The girls are halfway or more at this point, and it's been kind of a grind, and it's nice to be able to take a few days off. But then you throw them right into a 3 games in 3 days type thing. But this should be fun. It's not a conference game. Doesn't have a lot to do with that, nor the sections. This should be fun time.
Thrown back into the Armstrong Cooper zone where it's chased down there by Mackenzie Johnson. Now pushed across. Paige Lloyd-Holt up with it there. That pass, though, intercepted at center, and Ashley Larson getting it into the Armstrong Cooper zone, although not deep. Now thrown back and picked up again at center. Here come the Cardinals again. Sydney Olsen, and that one's going to be gobbled up by Launderville, who's been fairly busy in the early going in this one.
He's done a good job. We can see coming off to the right here. All right, Charles, you get the shot off. It's a short angle shot, but they can be tricky. As you can see, held on to it good. No rebound, and that's really important. No rebound.
I think Launderville kind of had one eye on the player coming on the weak side there and maybe wasn't expecting that shot. It almost snuck through. Here's a turnaround try there, kicked out, but another big rebound, and now controlled by the Wings as Julia Campion up with it, but was bottled up. Dumped back into the corner there where it's picked up by Hannah Schneider for Armstrong Cooper. That pass goes all the way through. They've misfired on some breakout passes here, and it's allowed Willmar to get the puck back in a hurry. And this is going to be an icing call there. Maya Monson was about a stride short of the center line when she dumped that one in, and so we'll come back into the Willmar end of the rink with 9:05 to play here in this first period, and no score on the board between Willmar and Armstrong Cooper.
Well, so far in the few times that Armstrong Cooper's been down here, they've gotten people into the net and gotten into the goalie's cage a little bit. They need to keep doing that, and that's the way the puck's going to find a way in. Get the dirty goals.
Banked ahead and back out to center. Quinn sending it ahead for Price. Now pass into the high slot, but the defense arrives in a hurry to break that up. And now a turnover, shot here, and fought off by Knutson off the attempt from Paige Olsen.
Boy, quick blocker hand by Knutson. That's two good saves she's made with that block and got it off to the corner.
Rachel Swanson leading the rush here for Willmar, firing and just fought off there by Launderville on the high shot. And now right back the other way comes Quinn. Quinn firing. That one a nice block there by the defenseman Natalie Ammon.
Yeah, so far Willmar's defenses look pretty good, pretty smooth. They need some good plays, some good stops.
And carried in by, and the shot goes wide from Cabinia there. Now they get it back and joust for it, knocked away from Bailey Olsen. And there's Cabinia stepping up though at the blue line and keeping it in. Olsen leaving it now for Serena Monson. Slams on the brakes there, dropping the pass off, and they try and go to the corner with it. Sydney Olson hustling up to play it, but knocked on out, and a chance for a 2-on-1 the other way now for Armstrong Cooper. Matson, the pass. They tried to go back to Matson, but had her stick tied up. Boy, there was an open cage there, but a good recovery by Sydney Olson on the back check for Willmar to prevent a goal. Pretty good idea to give that puck back in that 2-on-1, but the defenseman got to the stick just in time. Carried hard here by Winter. And that one popping out of there. So here's another look at this 2-on-1 chance.
Nice setup there. But just a nice play by the D. Again, a little bit flat-footed, but knew what she had to do with the stick. It's the defense's best weapon, especially in girls hockey where you really can't use the body.
And covered up here by Savannah Knutson, so we'll get another face-off coming up here. After Willmar kind of controlled things in the first few shifts, Armstrong Cooper, I think, has kind of evened things up a little bit in the play here. Gotten a chance or two of their own as that puck bounces free. And now pop back out to center. Sent back in. Price trying to get to it there for Armstrong Cooper. And Ana Aguado had a chance at it there.
So there's still things like that. You're surprised by the puck when it stops or changes direction. When you're in a regular mood, you're able to adjust quicker.
Price putting it back out to the point, but that shot mishit by Quinn. Quinn, though, able to keep it in. Quinn into the circle, fires, and that one sails wide. Pretty good shifts here in a row for Armstrong Cooper as they've done some good things. Playing maybe a little more physical than what Willmar is doing right now, too, I think, and it's maybe slowing the Cardinals up a little bit.
Well, Northwest Suburban, conference type play when you're playing Blaine and Centennial, Maple Grove, and those teams, they do play a little bit more physically.
Pass away to Swanson here, carrying it up the right side for Willmar. Swanson, a little spin around, might have lost it there. Leo O'Brien. O'Brien trying to advance that puck into the Willmar zone. That didn't quite make it there. Now they'll get another try, though, as Sarah Robbinsdale carrying it in. Robbinsdale picks that puck back up again and knocked aside by Knutson. Trying to come back out to the point with it. Haley Matson, a long shot to tip. Whoa, and Knutson has to stop the redirect there. Olivia Adams out front got a good piece of that one.
Nice play by Olivia Adams, an 8th grader, sticking her nose right in front of her. Look at a nice little tip, even with the defense pulling all over. And when you're having trouble scoring, that's the way you start getting goals. You get in front, you start hacking, chipping, sliding around and getting things happening.
Boy, a great look at it there, too, how close to her she was when that puck changed direction. And that's a tough one for a goaltender. And Armstrong Cooper would like to see more of that. Even though Knutson did end up making the save, those are the kind of chances that they really want and need to generate if they're going to have success, not only tonight, but for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Nice breakout here for Willmar, and here comes Garberding shooting a long shot, and that one sails wide and off the end boards. It's interesting, in a lot of ways you'd think maybe the team that's playing in its own rink would be the team that comes out fast early. It seemed like Willmar had a lot of jump in their first few shifts, but now Armstrong Cooper's been able to kind of slow them down a little bit and get some things going of their own.
Personality of the team, I had a couple teams at Osseo that sometimes I just wish we were playing away more than we were at home.
Out front, a chance, and Garberding got a shot away as she was in a little stick joust there.
Well, get it up top here after being down low here, and just a good shot here. Oh, it got slowed down by the stick, but then Garberding was in there with the opportunity to really lift it, but just couldn't get all the mustard on it she needed.
And Isabel Kriesel got a little physical there, and the referee didn't bring the arm up, but he did talk to her a little bit after that. But as you know, your goaltender, you love that when your player's going to stick up for you alongside the net. And sent out front, and there's a tip. And the stop made as Sophie Urbina reaching out for that one, and kind of fooled Launderville a little bit there, but had her positioning down and able to make the stop.
She got that 5-0 close just in time. She's saying Launderville's done very well so far tonight, though. I think she's been real solid.
Wings end up ultimately controlling the draw here, but then it was knocked down on the breakout pass. Battle for it here at center, and the Wings will come up with it. Leah O'Brien on the move into the zone, and that one knocked to the corner by Knutson. A little under 3.5 minutes to play in a scoreless first period here. Armstrong Cooper in white and Willmar in red. Opening night of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic for 2017. The final couple days of 2017 it is. Now back comes Willmar. Maya Monson had that one knocked loose though. Chipped away and floated ahead. Intercepted again though by Caitlin Quinn, and then knocked off her stick very nicely by Cobinia for Willmar. Long one thrown on net. Knocked aside by Launderville. I think on occasion here, both teams may be a little bit over-eager to shoot the puck, you know, when they're on the rush like that, and getting rid of it a little quicker than possibly they needed to.
Yeah, just anxiousness. Let's get something going. I want to get that first goal right away. First period. Let's wait until the second period to see how that develops. Princeton did the same thing first period. And then they started playing hockey like Princeton could play hockey in the second period and put 4 goals in.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, Coach Brewstel from Armstrong Cooper talked about it in one of the intermissions in that first game, how first and foremost they were glad to get back to 8 teams for this tournament so you can have a normal bracketed tournament. But also, I think you brought a lot of teams in here that are, relatively similar skill-wise, and there are probably, I think, 4 or 5 of the teams at least that came in thinking we can win this tournament.
Yes.
And that's what you want to see, one where the outcome is not predetermined, or I don't want to say predetermined, but where you couldn't, pencil in the winner already before you started playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, hockey tournaments, yeah, important, but they're supposed to be fun too. I mean, relax, come on in. Like the kids from Willmar here now, they're staying in a hotel and going to be here for 3 nights. Just what a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to, to bond away from the rink a little bit, I think, for the teams as well. Pass tipped ahead. Thrown on into the Armstrong Cooper zone. 1:20 to go in the first period. There definitely been some chances, but not a ton of offensive firepower really for either team in this first period. It's been a good feeling out period and had a couple of big saves each way, but no, there's a bad turnover by AC, and that one then just flipped wide by Sophie Cobinia there. Sent out front, and here's an opportunity and a couple. They bang away at it. Now out to the point, and that one is knocked down. Tried to throw it out front again. Price with a block or 2 there for Armstrong Cooper. That one didn't make it to the net either, and they're just able to clear it softly up the middle, and Armstrong Cooper will change their forward line here. Under 40 to go in this first period now. Cobinia carrying it ahead, and it'll roll wide of the net. Haley Matson back to get it, swings it around for Lauren Winter. 25 to go in the period as they bank it ahead, but only to center.
Well, we can see that first line is out there for Willmar. Waited till the last minute to give them the last shift of the period here. See if they could do something.
Back out to center and flipped right back in. There's a turnover, a chance late. And fired high by Quinn for Armstrong Cooper. Boy, Willmar nearly served one up on a platter there late in the period, but Quinn was unable to hit the net.
She knows it too.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. So we reached the end of period number 1. Our score after 1, Willmar 0, Armstrong Cooper 0 here at the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic on CCX.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
And welcome back here to New Hope Ice Arena, home of Armstrong Cooper girls and boys hockey, as the Holiday Classic for 2017 being conducted here. Willmar and Armstrong Cooper at 0-0. Let's go down rinkside to John Jacobson.
Thanks, Jam, with Eric Setrum, head coach of the Willmar Cardinals. Coach, scoreless first period. What your thought of the girls' first period action here?
Well, it was a pretty good battle up and down. We kept in their end a little bit. I think we're getting a little bit tired after our break here a little bit. So hopefully we can get our legs back here in the second period.
I know you were in this tournament a year ago. How much the girls like getting out of the Willmar area, getting another tournament to play and against teams they haven't probably faced before?
They really enjoy it. It's kind of fun to come down here and, like you say, play against teams that we don't normally see. It's a good test for them.
I know you had a young team last year. A lot of these girls are back. How much have you seen them mature as a team and develop their skills as players?
They've really come a long ways. The young, our freshmen have really stepped it up this year. And our seniors have really stepped forward and been good leaders for us. So it's been a good group.
I know I spent some time early in my career in West Central Minnesota, and you played hockey for Willmar, but in the winter it's a big basketball area. How is the health of hockey in West Central Minnesota, especially girls hockey for Willmar?
Hockey in general in Willmar looks really good right now. Our numbers are very high at the youth levels. We've had some key people in town really step forward and really push hockey in Willmar again. Our numbers went down for a little while, and now they've really rebounded. So the future looks really bright.
Eric, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the game and all season.
Thank you.
Willmar and Armstrong Cooper, no score after one period. We'll continue with more of our first intermission of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic on CCX after this timeout.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
And welcome back here to New Hope Arena. Willmar and Armstrong Cooper scoreless in the first intermission of the 22nd annual Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic here on CCX Sports. And a lot of good teams in our viewing area, and also a lot of good players. Early in this 2017-2018 season, I had a chance to meet Kylie Hanley from Hopkins St. Louis Park and featured her on our Sports Jam show. Here's a look at that story. She's a rink rat, and that's a compliment in the state of hockey. Hopkins Park senior Kylie Hanley's developed into a great player for the Royals.
I love to play a fast game. I like to use my speed and size to my advantage. Move the puck quickly, get lots of shots, a lot of heads-up hockey.
You notice she's the first one on the ice, last one off, but she's just got an extra gear. And, you know, people come up when we went up to Proctor. They said, well, if we can stop her, we'll be fine. And, you know, she got 4 points. She got a point on every goal that we scored. And, you know, I don't think people realize that she's not at top speed. And then when she turns it on, she's past you.
Hanley led the Royals to a 6-1 start heading into the weekend and already had racked up 12 goals and 9 assists in the first 7 games. That leads to extra attention from opposing teams.
I like to take it as a compliment most of the time, but sometimes I do get a little irritated, but like I just try to stay out of it and just focus on playing my game most of the time.
Kylie's a strong skater with good moves who is capable of going solo on rushes, but she's a great team player who gets others involved too.
Kylie's great to have on the team because she's not only a leader on the ice but also off the ice. She keeps it really fun in the locker room and definitely is a great player to have on the team.
As a team, I love to move the puck around and get my other teammates points, and I always try to help them improve as players too, like not only myself but make sure that they're improving.
Kylie's in her 6th varsity season, having started on the team as a 7th grader. She looked up to some talented older teammates.
Definitely Nina Rogers. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I always looked up to her. She had a wicked shot. And she went to and played at the U, and now she's at BU. So that was really cool to see. She was a great leader. Same with Corbin Boyd. I played with her on her line my 9th grade year.
And some of Hanley's teammates now look up to her.
She has this one move that she does where she kind of takes it one way and then just flips it around the goalie. And so that's always fun to watch her do that, and she scores a lot of goals with that. So it's a good Kylie Hanley move.
Kylie's ability on the ice hasn't gone unnoticed. She recently signed a letter of intent to play college hockey for Minnesota Duluth.
I absolutely fell in love with the school. It has a perfect STEM program that I'm looking into study for. And the hockey program is also doing really well. And I think the coaches up there really are bringing the program in a great direction. And I think that once I get there, I will really love it.
As for this season, Hanley is hoping a Royal squad with a lot of new faces can continue to play well and maybe reach the Section 6 AA title game. As for individual goals,
I hope to get at least 50 points, so that's more than last year. And I hope to be in the running for Miss Hockey. I know the competition's really tough, like the girls are amazing, but hopefully, yeah.
Kylie Hanley having a nice year for Hopkins Park. They're playing in the Blaine tournament, I believe, this week as they try to continue the strong start they've had. Willmar and Armstrong Cooper tied up at 0-0. We'll come back with more of our coverage here in just a moment, including first period highlights on CCX Sports.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
No score on the board here after one as Willmar and Armstrong Cooper battle on this opening night of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic. We'll take a look at some first period action in this one, and obviously no goals, but a few chances for both teams here. Quinn walking in, firing, and a nice blocker save there by Savannah Knutson for Willmar. And then a rush the other way as Rachel Swanson firing the shot here and just fighting it off was Launderville for AC. And then they get a shot from the point that's knocked down, but then the second try is the tough one. But Garberding had her stick lifted a little bit, and then things got a little bit physical as well. See the shots slightly favoring Willmar and the chances as well. Pretty quick period as neither team took a penalty in that first period either, and obviously no chance to look at the special teams so far in this one. Willmar and Armstrong Cooper will play the second period in just a moment here. You're watching the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic on CCX Sports. Zamboni's completed its work here as these teams get set for period number 2. Armstrong Cooper is back out. Willmar has yet to make their way back onto the ice surface here for the second period. And thought Armstrong Cooper kind of got stronger as the period went along there, Dan. The first parts of the opening period were kind of tilted Willmar's way, but Armstrong Cooper got some chances, including that one right at the end after a turnover.
Yeah, Quinn's kind of hitting her head with a hockey stick right now, but I'll tell you what, she's got 2 more periods to do. She played well that period, got a couple opportunities. Again, it's just cashing in. They did the right things. I thought they really jumped on it and got the momentum going back in their way. And we'll see if they can pop one in and see what that does from Willmar. I don't know. Let's see if they have their legs, Jay. We saw some possibilities, especially with that first line they've got, but the adjustments are made. They got a period under the belt. I expect to see a faster pace in the second period.
And Armstrong Cooper, I think, obviously they didn't score, they didn't take the lead or anything, but I think they maybe built a little confidence too. Let's face it, they haven't had a lot of games where they've been able to play with a lead or anything like that. They haven't won yet this year, but they I thought gained some confidence as that period went maybe too.
Well, considering the fact they've been outscored 18-4 in the first period, or 18-2, excuse me, in the first period throughout the season, yeah, that was a victory for them. That's the beauty of this tournament. They can build some confidence. So let's see if they can pick up the pace here now and get some pucks on net and get in there and get dirty.
Here we go in period number 2. Wings come up with it early on, and then that pass is deflected and stolen, and a chance for Willmar. To the circle, a shot, and Launderville a save. It's loose in the slot. Wait, it's still pretty wet out there on the rink, and there it sticks right there. That's not the only spot where that might happen. There's a lot of water on the ice right now to begin the second period. I'm a little surprised they started play with as much water as there is out there.
Well, and I can honestly say that there is not that type of warmth in the building that it wouldn't melt, considering what it is outside. Too much water by the Zamboni.
Nice interception there, knocked away from Aguado. Now Paige Olson knocks it back to the corner. On Aguado picking it up here for Armstrong Cooper. Bailey Olson up with it here. Nice little move in close there and gets the puck nicely onto the stick of Garberding. And then they'll dump it in and head off on a change here as Robbinsdale back to pick it up for Armstrong Cooper, getting it to Price. Price flicking the pass to Aguado, and she wants to change here and flicks it off. Of course, they got the change from their offensive zone to their bench in this period, so she only had to take a few more strides after dumping that one in. Robbinsdale picking it up, sliding it back across to her defense partner there, Haley Matson. And the Wings now able to bring it into the Willmar zone, but maybe not for long as it's chipped away and thrown back down to the corner by Creasel. Around now to Sydney Olson for Willmar, and there's a turnover as they try to bring it out up the middle. And knocked away from Olson again here. That was the type of play that almost cost Willmar a goal late at the first period there, where he not reading the zone very well there and throwing a pass kind of right into the middle of that high slot area. Knocked ahead now by Campion, carrying it in for Armstrong Cooper. Her shot goes wide. Adams is there first for AC, throws it back into the other corner where Maya Monson picks it up. Tapped off the wall and a race here Winter just got her stick on that one, or that could have been trouble. She was flat-footed, and Garberding was trying to go around her. Garberding chases it down in the corner, throwing it right out front. It comes all the way through. Battle for that loose puck, and the Wings not quite able to get it out. Now they do as Winter banks it off the wall.
Boy, almost had a golden opportunity there. Olivia Adams was heading up ice. She kind of turned back to the inside, and that puck was laid out real nice for her on the outside for her to have a breakaway.
Here's a chance, and Launderville making the stop on Serena Monson. Now the Wings trying to get it back going the other way. Lloyd-Holt carrying it here. Oh, and a nice job on the back check. Labinia, and now the other way, Ashley Larson carrying for Willmar. To the corner, and it's chipped around her. Leo O'Brien getting to it, and it just trickles out to center. O'Brien will pick it back up here for Armstrong Cooper, getting a shot away. Savannah Knutson directs that into the corner. Sydney Olson back to pick it up here for Willmar. Olson forced out wide, and her pass deflected. And now gathered in here by Armstrong Cooper's Hannah Schneider. Her shot, though, is blocked as Sydney Olson squared up nicely and just got in the way of that one. Cardinals unable to get it out. Now Maya Monson spinning away, lost it, but they'll still advance. Now Swanson has a player with her. Swanson getting the shot, a penalty coming up here. That one hits the outside of the net, and will be our first penalty of the game. A slashing call against Armstrong Cooper as Swanson carried it up the right side right there. The whack still got a shot away, but it's going to be a slash.
Just about to comment on the Willmar Wings as forwards, especially, were not starting out of the zone, and their D had nowhere to go with the puck and was either turning it over or getting jammed. And all of a sudden one sprung loose, and boy, they took off real quick, like a quick transition. And got an opportunity, and now they got a power play.
Schneider will get the penalty for slashing for Armstrong Cooper. So first time we'll see this tonight for either team. A player advantage for Willmar. Puck comes loose alongside the net. Wings unable to clear, and now the second try is good as Kriesel gets it down the rink.
Well, the Cardinals are running at about 23%. They've gotten 8 goals and 35 power plays. It's a pretty good number. It's kind of where you want to be.
Serena Monson carrying it in for Willmar as they look to get set up here. Gobinia swings it across. Olson shooting, and it hits her teammate out front, Garberding, who, nice job to keep that one in. Garberding wanted a tip. Instead, the puck came right into her body and really no way to get her stick on it. Now to the corner it goes. Robideau couldn't quite get there in time. Gobinia putting it down low. That one knocked away. And cleared on down the rink again by Kriesel. Her second time able to clear it there, put it right on goal. In fact, Knutson stopping that one. Now Kobinia with it for Willmar. Onto the stick of Maya Monson as she hits the zone. Boy, the D really backed off deep there. Not wanting to get out of position, but they allowed her pretty easy entry into the circle there. Monson back out top. Now across. Kobinia up with it. And missed the net badly there. Back out to the other point. That went off the outside of the net. Launderville scrambling back into position. And puck lost and chopped down the rink there by Campion.
Well, so far Willmar set up. We just haven't been able to get the puck where they wanted to. Kobinia missed the net on that when they had a couple people down there, but Armstrong Cooper's holding its own.
They are back to full strength now, but here comes Serena Monson to the front, and Winter blocked that one with her skate. And now Winter able to win that puck cleanly away. Nice job there by Winter, and she'll lug it up ice here to lead the rush. Winter with Price. Shoveled it over. Oh, and that shot hit something on the way in as it was a little behind Price.
Yep.
Not to her stick really there. Wings able to keep it in, and walking into the slot area there was Quinn. Left it for Robbinsdale. And then it hops over Robbinsdale's stick. She'll have to regroup at center ice there. Dumps it back in, and they'll change or finish their change. And a nice takeaway, fresh off the bench there, jumping in to grab it. Briefly was O'Brien. Now it's tipped wide. Now Willmar trying to get it out. Ava Swart onto the stick of Sophie Kobina. And then the back pass picked off there by Lloyd-Olt. Can't get it out though, it's hammered wide. 9:25 to go in the middle period. Still no score here. Willmar in red, Armstrong Cooper in white. Robbinsdale, they got a little bunched up there, and that one chopped back out. Robbinsdale gains control again, and she'll softly tap it to the corner as they finish a change.
What's interesting here, Jay, that Willmar's running.
Oh, there's a turnover. Sorry, Dan.
No problem. Man. Willmar's just coughing it up. AC's responding here quite a bit to some of that pressure and getting a good forecheck on. Well, I was just saying, Willmar right now, they're running two lines. Okay, they're running that first line quite often. They may have alternated the third line and the second line, but it'll be interesting to see now how that number one line, with the two freshmen on it, respond in the third period, or especially after a few days of rest. They're going to still have legs, or won't they?
Off the draw, Wings control it. Winter hammers it down deep. Pass blocked there by Campion. This throws it back the other way now. First to it, Bailey Olson of Willmar. And their breakout, though, falters as it hit a skate through neutral. Shoveled back in by Campion, but right back out. And that's how a lot of this period has gone, really. A lot of action kind of between the blue lines and, you know, into the zone a little bit, but nothing really established as far as quality shots or, you know, zone time pressure or anything. I don't think it's that either team's, you know, playing real poorly or real well. It's just kind of, they've been pretty even.
Well, just some of the pressure, too. There's been a lot of giveaways, and it's been kind of a chop-chop hockey, although we haven't seen a lot of icings or offsides or anything like that, but just aggressive play, and it's causing some turnovers.
Puck deflected wide there by Price. Kobina back to get it. And now she gets the puck back again, and looks like they just want to relieve the pressure here. She'll throw it all the way down. An icing call, as I think they had some tired legs out there, and going to get an icing call and sent down the rink. And Eric Settrum's team right now is, I would say that's probably the most glaring thing that he would want to correct, is they've had a few too many of those real big giveaways in front of their net.
Yeah.
You know, doing some other good things certainly too. But they've put the puck right on a forward stick of Armstrong Cooper in the circle probably at least 3 times tonight, where, you know, they're kind of fortunate it hasn't cost them yet. This one thrown all the way across there by Leah O'Brien. Pass out to center, but intercepted. However, the defenseman Robbinsdale falls down. And pretty good job catching up to the play, though, by Sadie Bresnahan for Armstrong Cooper to make sure that she covered up for her teammate there. Bresnahan picking up the puck there, but chopped loose from her. Robbinsdale throwing it back. And then a nice pass ahead onto the tape of Lloyd-Olt, but then denied. And that's kind of the story for them this season. You know, you connect on one good play, but then just the next thing doesn't work out. Oh, nice. There's another dangerous one.
Nice play by Maya Monson there. Just a little freshman stick her in the nose and taking the Armstrong Cooper player right off the puck. But you're right, Jay, nobody's been able to establish any position at all in the attack zones. It's just been kind of crazy.
Bank back out to the Willmar blue line where it's chopped ahead, and then Armstrong Cooper is offside, as still in the zone was Kriesel as they brought it in. And so we'll have a face-off just outside the Willmar blue line with 6:19 to play in this second period. The winner will take on Princeton Big Lake Becker, who let's just say won fairly convincingly in that first game, 6-1. over in the opening round against North Tartan.
Yeah, really came on, put two really good periods together. They got their legs gone, working after one period, and really showed what a good team they were. Here we go.
Blocked and a chance now. Coming in is Adams, shooting and fought off by Knutson. The rebound laying there, and then the shot attempt was blocked. They got in maybe a little tighter than they wanted to there. It was almost basically a 2-on-0, but could not get it past Knutson.
But a good job of getting the puck on the net. There was a rebound there waiting, and don't miss the net in that situation, even in that tight.
There's another save by Knutson. The puck was bouncing though and wouldn't settle down for Paige Olson. And Willmar will dump it back into the AC zone. Winter picking it up. Plays it up the left side. Price carries it in to Aguado. Back for Price, and that one is jabbed away. Now Garberding will play it back down toward the corner, but Price is going to get there first. Price banking it out, and a little trouble with it at the blue line. Is going to pop out of play. Early in the second period on our south rink, as you get a look at this chance by Adams, carried in a little deep, but then hit her right in the chest. A good save there, definitely. But like you said, Dan, did get it on net. Prior Lake leading Bemidji on the other rink 3-1 early in the second period, and Fergus Falls beat Holy Angels 5-3 in the other game on the south rink on the varsity level. So Fergus Falls, the defending tournament champion, winning their first game in this one, although they got tested.
One of the greatest nicknames of all time, too. One of my favorites.
The Otters?
The Otters.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Gosh. Well, I'll tell you, it looks like Armstrong Cooper now is starting to get their legs. They're starting to put more pressure on. They're just not getting any real solid stuff. But they are getting some shots in down low, which we talked about at the beginning of the games, which they wanted to start doing.
Oh, that one will deflect just wide, and Knutson lost sight of it for a moment. Yeah, you know, even though they're not putting great chances on it, it just has the feeling that AC has kind of started to really take this game over.
Yep. A little more energized. Those legs are moving, and they're fighting for everything.
Oh, there's a good chance. Knutson able to stop Leah O'Brien, but Armstrong Cooper needs to just keep coming with more of that, and maybe eventually one of these will go in.
Well, another turnover here, and Leo Bryan coming in and did a great job of curling into the middle so she could bring that stick to bear with a good forehand and unleashed a pretty good shot on Knutson there.
Kept in there and brought to the circle. Dump back down deep here. You can kind of see the Cardinals right now just, you know, struggling to get the puck out of their zone. There's a high shot that has a Willmar player ducking. Battle for it along the wall. And it is Maya Monson pulling it loose here for the Cardinals, but runs into trouble. Kind of seems like Armstrong Cooper. Well, here's Monson. The puck came back to her, got hooked a little bit there, flicked out front. Puck still loose. I say it seems like Armstrong Cooper has started to figure some things out with the forecheck and able to really choke off a lot of those breakouts. But then, just as I say that, Willmar gets one of their few good rushes of the period.
And you said the key word there is few, and frankly, there should have been a penalty there. They pulled Monson off and stopped the scoring chance, and that is a penalty. So Armstrong Cooper got away with one.
Aguado knocked that one to the corner. Pass ahead to Rachel Swanson, and they get it out, but barely. It's a bouncing puck at center, and they're really struggling to settle it down. Approaching 2.5 minutes to go in this second period, and still no score on the board. Armstrong Cooper and Willmar battling here. Winter couldn't get it out. Dump back down toward the corner. Swung around here in the wings, and that pass a little too far for Aguado. Intercepted by Sydney Olson for Willmar. And they were offside there. One thing Armstrong Cooper has to, you know, be conscious of too, though, is that they've started to have a lot of offensive zone time. Now is the time you can't afford to be caught too far up ice, and that they saw a little bit of that last chance, which wasn't a great chance, but it was, you know, something where Willmar got something going for first time in quite a while.
Well, and this is the first time I've seen this first line out in about 5 minutes. They have not been double shifting them in the second period here. It's been the second and third line that Armstrong Cooper's been doing this to. Now these guys are fresh. Let's see what this number one line for Willmar can do.
Olsen carrying it behind the wings net. And here's Serena Monson going to the net, putting it out front, and it's chopped just over the top. The defenseman got in there to bother that one. It was a very nice setup, though. And it passed into the skates of O'Brien, and that allows Willmar to get the interception. And there's another turnover, but unable to get the puck to her stick cleanly. There was Lloyd-Holt. And knocked loose at center. Good aggressive play there for Armstrong Cooper's Haley Matson. Minute 20 to go in the second. Who's going to break the deadlock here? 0-0 score. Puck kick free, and Maya Monson swinging it across to Swanson. Under a minute now. Pass drop back to the point. Here's the shot, and that one is blocked. Never made it there. Second try. Whoa, and a glove catch. Snaring that one out of the air was Launderville. The first one looked like it might be dangerous. It was blocked, but then it comes right back out to the point, and this one, she had a pretty good look at it, though. You know, that one, there was a little bit of traffic, but
she hasn't seen a lot of puck in a while either. You know, it's been kind of like, whoa, and she just kind of snapped it up. Looked real cool doing it. I love the fact that Quinn got out there and really gave up her body to try and block that shot, too.
Kobinia hammering it wide. Now down low, quick shot and a goal. Snuck through there by Madison Garberding. And the freshman on that first line putting the Cardinals ahead late in the period. 17 seconds to go.
9th goal of the season for Garberding. Nice play. It just sneaks into the short side here, I think. No, gets caught on the stick and comes through the 5-hole. Oh, just a mistake. Gets under the pads and into for 5-hole.
16-17 the time of the goal. 43 seconds left in the period as she scores it.
Good things happen when you put a puck on net, Jay.
Garberding her 9th goal of the year, so she leads their team in goals. And so Willmar striking first, and here they come again. Serena Monson. Puck squirts away to the corner, but Monson tracks it down. And hockey can be a funny game. Armstrong Cooper had a much better second period than they did first, but now looks like they may end up trailing into the second intermission. Thrown on net there, and a block with the stick there of Launderville. So we reached the end of period number 2. It was a very good period, actually, for the home team, Armstrong Cooper. However, it's Willmar breaking through, getting the first goal of the game in the last minute of the period. Our score after 2, Willmar 1, Armstrong Cooper nothing. We'll hear from Coach Brewstill and have more of our second intermission in a moment here on CCX Sports.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It's Chuck-a-Puck time here in the second intermission at New Hope Arena. Let's go down rinkside now to John Jacobson.
All right, thanks very much, Jay. We're with Elsa Brustel, the head coach of Armstrong Cooper. And Coach, I thought it was a much better period in that second period, but you end up trailing by the end. What were your thoughts about how period 2 went?
Hold on, I'm going to let that go. Yeah, I would agree. I think we talked a lot in between the first and the second period just about, we had one person on the puck working so hard, and the 4 or the 3 that were off of the battle were usually just waiting to see where they needed to go or what they needed to do. So, one of our big focuses was instead of waiting, be the one who creates it. So go to an open space, tell them where to move the puck, things like that. And I think we were moving our feet a lot better that period. It was a much better period for us overall, despite getting scored on. So
I know you talked to Jay in that first game, and the record isn't what you want it to be, but how are the girls' attitudes coming into this tournament? And it's your home tournament and all that, and you're on your own home sheet device.
Good, I think. I mean, we had a couple tough games leading up to this where I think, we played really well, and the score didn't reflect, obviously, how we wanted the game to go. Sometimes not even the shots. We were outworking teams, and we still are falling on the scoreboard. So I think this is a good opportunity for them, in their home ice, in a tournament that's ours, to come out and play for something a little bit different than just, our league championship or going to state. It's just fun. It's three games. It's great competition, and I think they're really excited. So.
Finally, what do you need to do differently, if anything, other than score in the third period?
I would say a lot of our shots are coming from the point or coming from just a line rush, but finding a way when we have possession in their zone for, 30, 40 seconds to take that and to create scoring chances other than, just the shot from the point or the things where we're really relying on a lucky bounce. So, passes to the slot or driving the net from the tops of the circles, things like that.
Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right. It is 1-0 Willmar leading Armstrong Cooper through 2 periods of play. We'll take time out. We'll continue with our second intermission of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic here at New Hope Ice Arena on CCX.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to New Hope Ice Arena. John Jacobson with you in between the second and the third period. Armstrong Cooper taking on Willmar. I am joined now by Clark Robbinsdale. He is one of the tournament co-chairs of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic and a parent of a player as well. And Clark, tell me about all the work that's gone into culminating into the 3 days that started today.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't really know what you're getting in for until you're the one that having to help organize it. But yeah, there's a lot of work, but we've been lucky because our parents are very involved and we had good sponsors as well. So it's been a great experience.
What are all the things that do need to happen for this to pull off? You mentioned sponsors, but you've got to line up all the volunteers. You got to make sure that the teams get to their locker rooms, and you have referees and everything, right? Yeah,
it starts with just the teams. First you have to put together, the teams that are interested and get them involved. And then you're right, you're scheduling the ice, scheduling the refs, the EMTs, all the volunteer spots, the programs, the T-shirts, the food. There's lots of stuff to do.
And it was important for you as a committee and a host to have a full 8-team tournament. How big was that to be able to fill this out, to have a full varsity and JV tournament?
Yeah, I think it's a great, to have a full tournament, get more teams in here. But also, I like the diversity in this tournament. The 8 teams, they represent 7 different conferences within the state. So these are teams that normally don't get to see each other, and I think that's good hockey.
It's always fun for a holiday hockey tournament. You don't want to be playing teams that you play in your own conference, right? And you get to see, and it seems also like you've done a good job of finding teams that are pretty good talent mixes or on a fairly even level, right?
Yeah, we look at the ranking, try to get people. We don't want no one likes to blow whether you're on either side of that one. So we try to get a lineup that was relatively close, and I think so far it seems. Looking at this game, that's the way it's turning out.
For you as a parent, how much fun is this to be involved in your daughter's career? Is helping out with this tournament, just watching her play?
Oh yeah, most of the hockey dads, you're coaching your kid through mites, or then on the girls' side, the U8, U10, U12. But honestly, the downside of working the tournament is I don't get to see much of the games. I'm usually in the room working with everybody else, so I don't get to see much of the games, honestly.
What's ahead now the next 2 days? What are the big things that you have to coordinate here Friday and Saturday?
Well, really just to keep things going. I mean, I think the first day is the toughest because everybody's kind of finding their skill set, and people tend to stick with the same thing, so they're better at it. It's easier the second, the third time. So it's a matter of just keeping it going. We got out of the gates pretty good today, and I just want to keep it that way.
Finally, talk about some of your sponsors that have helped you pull this off.
Oh yeah, we've got great sponsors in general. We've got Letterman Sports, Passkey, Jim Strangler Real Estate, Robin Wellness. There's a lot of major sponsors, but then there's other ones that have stepped up just for this tournament. So we've got a lot of people helping in the hospitality, Outtakes, Buffalo Wild Wings, Teresa's, Frankie's. There's a lot of sponsors. Then we have others that stepped up for like some of the prizes for the Chuck-a-Puck we just had. So whether it be Big Louie's, Sunshine Factory, Cowboy Jacks, there's a whole litany. And I wish I had a list to make sure I get everybody their due credit, but because there's a lot of them.
All right. Well, Clark, congratulations on putting this all together, and thanks for having us out again this year. And good luck and continued success with the Holiday Classic.
Great. It wouldn't be a tournament here without you guys, so we appreciate you here as well.
All right. Thanks very much.
Yep.
Clark Robbinsdale, he's one of the tournament co-chairs here of the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic. It is 1-0 Willmar leading Armstrong Cooper through 2 periods of play. We'll take a break, take a look at second period highlights and more. Live coverage on CCX in a moment.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Willmar holding a 1-0 lead over Armstrong Cooper as we get set for period number 3, and a little bit of an interesting second period in that Armstrong Cooper really took over the game. However, it was Willmar getting the only goal of the period late in the period. And we'll look at a chance on a rush here for Olivia Adams there, but denied by Savannah Knutson, who's been pretty well locked in here for Willmar. And the puck carried out wide and thrown to the front. Chance, first one blocked, second one getting through, but snared out of midair there by Launderville for Armstrong Cooper. And then the late in the period here, the pass out front, and it just hits Launderville's stick and goes in between her pads as Madison Garberding getting the goal at 16-17. You see the shots just slightly favoring Willmar. The Wings had a much better second period and really kind of dominated play. They took the only penalty of the period, and Willmar did not convert. So we'll head to period number 3. Willmar, we'll see if they have some momentum from that goal. Armstrong Cooper trying to carry the momentum of their strong play from that second period and come back and tie this one up. We'll be right back here to New Hope Arena on CCX Sports. One period to go here in our second game of the night on the North Rink at New Hope Ice Arena. Willmar leading Armstrong Cooper 1-0 despite a very strong second period from the Wings. It was Willmar getting that only goal of the period, and plenty to still be decided here in this one as the Wings try and bounce back. You get a look at the bracket. Princeton, Big Lake, Becker, a 6-1 win on this rink earlier, so the winner of this game plays the winner of that one. Fergus Falls winning on the South Rink first game. Prior Lake, last we heard, was leading Bemidji. in that second game. So then the championship will be decided on Saturday night. And we touched on it a little bit, at times in the first game too, about how much nicer it is to have this 8-team bracket. I mean, there were some uncomfortable situations in terms of, when you had fewer teams, if somebody dropped out late or whatever, and you wind up with just this weird number where you really can't get a true tournament setup. And obviously it's just a much better deal. There's less confusion on who plays who and all that kind of thing too.
Well, the nice thing is you've got a Twin Cities venue, and a lot of these out-of-town teams like Fergus Falls, Willmar, want to come in. It's hotel time. It's bonding out of town with your team, etc., and your teammates. And but there are so many tournaments during this time of year. You got Blaine going. Edina's got one going. Coon Rapids has got one going.
Yep, Schwann Cup too.
Yeah.
And Coach Setram said he came as a high school player and played here against Armstrong back in the mid-'80s. So
really?
He's familiar with this very venue from many years back. As you get a look at our past champions in this tournament, Fergus Falls, who was a section rival of Willmar, won it last year, and they're into the semifinals we showed you a moment ago. Champlain Park, a couple of years in a row, and they were, they enjoyed coming here. But as John explained in the first game tonight, they paired a co-op now with Coon Rapids, who already had a tournament that they'd established, and it was a pretty good fundraiser. And so Champlain Park kind of reluctantly, not that they don't want to be in this one at Coon Rapids, obviously, but they were unable to return here to this tournament, which they've been a long-time participant at. So we've had a lot of different teams come through here, and we'll see who can come out on top in this 2017 tournament. And I think what we talked about in the first end of the first intermission we're seeing here now, they're holding the teams back a little bit because the ice was so wet, and I think they started play in the second period when maybe they shouldn't have, and I think they realized it too. And so now they're kind of giving the ice a little more time to set up.
Yeah, 2 to 3 more minutes, and that can make a big difference where the pipes are really freezing up here and just get it dried up. I was looking at that lineup of winners. We ought to put Jim Coltis as the Armstrong Cooper Hall of Fame tournament. He's won it like 7 times, I think, between Maple Grove, Rogers, and Champlain Park.
So, and he's another guy that played his high school hockey in this building too. So some sentimental thing for Jim as well. Knocked loose here, and now picked up by the wings. Lloyd Olt sending it ahead. O'Brien taps it into the Willmar zone. Thought Willmar was kind of put back on their heels for a good portion of that second period, although like you said they ended up getting the goal late. But I think right now it's their time to try and see if they can get a little bit of momentum back after AC had kind of dominated that second period.
Well, they need to establish themselves again, just like they did in the second period right now. Just don't, forget about the goal. Work and do what you were doing. It's a good thing that goal was scored late in the second period, because Willmar, it's tough to carry momentum in between periods.
Right. Knocked loose here. The race is on. Maya Monson will track it down here for the Cardinals, but then knocked away from her by Paige Olson. Some help arrives, though, from Rachel Swanson. Price turning to gather it here, but her pass went off a skate and chopped back into the wing zone. Robbinsdale, who we heard from her father, and thanks for all the work the tournament committee does, obviously, to get this thing put on. And you really sometimes don't realize quite all that goes into putting on an event like this. Just so many different things have to be taken care of and secured. Puck carried in, and one thing that I was kind of relieved to see was we got a penalty coming up here against Armstrong Cooper. They'll be their second penalty of the night. We'll get a hooking call, and the Cardinals will go back to the power play. Dan, I was going to say, I was a little relieved to see that that the weather that we did have was a little bit earlier in the morning. So some of the teams that had a long journey to get here hopefully weren't too impacted by the snow that we had, because I know it was pretty slick. And there's Campion, who will head to the box here.
Well, they all got here. So it worked out. But let's see what Willmar can do now with the power play. As I said, they got a pretty good power play. They got it set up here really nice to start out with. Oh, good idea.
Thrown out front, but then intercepted, and Friesel carrying it back. Now picked up by Quinn. Olsen coming back the other way now for Willmar as they try and get their power play set up. Olsen will pull it down deep, and now they get spread out and set up. Pass deflected. It comes to the other side. Oh, there was an open net. Launderville was a little slow to get over there, and Olsen had her attempt denied as she tried to put it into an open cage. Top of the circle now, Sydney Olsen. Bailey Olsen swinging it around and gets the return from Serena Monson. Then she fell, and Winter comes up with the puck, but cannot clear. Back out to the point. Long one there, and Launderville watches it sail by. And then the Wings able to get it and clear it out, and they'll get it deep enough to make a change here. 40 to go in the power play. And almost lost there, but regained. However, it is Armstrong Cooper getting there first. They dump it right back in. Kobinia carrying it here for Willmar. And her shot blocked by Winter. Pulled off the wall by Kobinia behind the net. Now they look to the point with it. Puck got away. Aguado couldn't clear it. It's loose in front. Shot. Oh, and Maya Monson was stopped by Launderville. Back out to the point it comes again. Penalty time is over. Shot. Puck goes in the net eventually, but the whistle had sounded. No goal.
Well, the referees have lost sight of it. As soon as that happens, the whistle blows, whether it's loose or not. But good setup here back up top on the point. Got a little bit of a footer ball in there. Gave a rebound out and pushing and shoving, and they're pushing on the puck, and it stuck in between the 5-hole, but the whistle had blown.
Puck was, yeah, that was a close one. The puck was right under Launderville, briefly, entirely under her. And at that point, once the whistle sounds, obviously, and nothing that happens from that point on matters in terms of it being a goal. Garberding spins away, but then the pass intercepted by Quinn. Quinn carrying it in deep here for the Wings, putting it out front. And that chance never really materialized, but they keep possession down low. Sent around for Lloyd Olt. Now it comes to the high slot again, and then the clear goes off Robideau's stick and back to center, where the Wings will get it and regroup here. Quinn carrying it in. Obviously, scoring goals has been a bit of an issue for them this year, or more than a bit. And right now, they've played, pretty well at times, but not well enough to put anything in the net so far.
Well, they're getting it down low like their goal was, and they're getting some opportunities. But like you said, they just aren't finding the open door yet.
Picked up here by Quinn. That pass off a skate. Bounces to the other side, where Quinn will get to it first here for Armstrong Cooper, and then dump right back down low. Willmar settled down, I think, and played a better third period than what they did in the second, at least so far. Carried now by Paige Olsen. Price trying to turn the corner there. Now looking for the wraparound. It's slammed out of there. Kobinia will lead the rush out here. Hannah Kobinia, the talented defenseman for Willmar. And then has to backhand it on in as they finish up a change here. And tip back out to center.
I'm really glad you said that about Kobinia, how talented she is. She's been putting a lot of ice time in. She's been on the ice more than half this game for them. Olsen along with her, too. Two very steady D.
Oh, put out front and swept wide on the backhander by Campion. The D really didn't see that puck coming, but Campion not able to get real good wood on it and knocked it wide. And here come the Cardinals again. Knocked loose right near the Wings blue line though, and Price picking it up. Whipped across to Maya Monson. Up the left side here for Willmar. Her shot goes wide. And now a breakout up the left side, but knocked loose from O'Brien. Nice catch of that pass by Garberding, but then Winter takes it away from her. Leah O'Brien had it knocked loose. Quinn now carrying it for the Wings. Spins around a Cardinal there. Played back in behind the net. Now Garberding trying to get it out and does so. Winter stepping up and then had it chipped away. Winter will try and throw it back ahead again. That one knocked loose. Kind of get the feeling Willmar would be content with the game continuing this way, you know, just back and forth, dump it out. Prior Lake now up big on Bemidji on the other side, 6-1, so they look like they'll be moving into the semis. Maya Monson on the move here. Uh-oh, here's an opening right up the middle, and the shot stopped by Launderville as AC was changing a little slow there, and there was a lot of space right up the gut.
Well, almost 2-zip there, but you know, they don't have to score anymore. But they do stop their Armstrong Cooper from scoring. And it looks like they're kind of going back into a little bit of a shell, not a big one, but they're more defensive conscious right now.
Banked ahead to herself there by Rachel Swanson. Swanson dumping it right on net. Launderville knocking it away.
You know, the games like this make it tough on a goaltender, you know, when your team's not scoring and you know, you give up a goal, you know, if you give up a second one here in the third period, that might be a dagger, so to speak, in the heart. So Launderville's really got to be sharper in the third period.
There's a shot hammered wide of the mark. Back down deep. Nice takeaway by Serena Monson. Here's Bailey Olson trying to put it out front. That pass was blocked. And trying again, but it's denied. Now it's Willmar's turn to really bottle the Wings up. And still can't get it out as Cabinia sends it down deep. Bailey Olson trying to free it up again, and did briefly. Boy, she had a teammate out front, but just couldn't quite get control of the puck after digging it loose. Back in behind the Wings net. A little trouble with it there for Quinn. Now gets control. They've had too many breakouts, though, that are one player carrying it and not enough tape-to-tape passes.
Well, Willmar's getting into those passing lanes now, and then they're covering the people for the passes, and then the last person in is working on the puck carrier. The other problem they got, too, is they're so tired from being in the defensive zone now, Jay, when they finally get an offensive chance, only one person goes in.
Here's Adams trying to get the pass out front. Knocks it behind the net. Here's an opportunity. That one hit the side of the net as Lloyd-Olt tried to bring it out front. She gets it back again, though. Lloyd-Olt trying to put it out front. Ooh, and it pops high in the air over the net. Fortunately for Willmar, nobody in a white jersey could get there. Kept in at the line and then chopped out. Leo O'Brien carrying it in as Willmar tried to make a quick change, even though the puck didn't really get very far out of their zone. And a penalty coming as Swanson hauled O'Brien down, and this will be the first penalty against the Cardinals in the game, as Swanson will go here for probably a hold or hook.
Boy, not a very good penalty there at all, Jay, even though it was in the defensive zone, but there was a player coming in to put a second check on. Swanson didn't have to yank her down at all. So
holding will be the call.
This will be interesting to see now. AC getting another power play opportunity. They haven't done very well in it so far this year, but you never know. Tonight could be the charm.
First penalty taken by the Cardinals in this game, and it comes at an opportune time for Armstrong Cooper as they trail at 1-0 and could really use this time to try and tie things up. Aguado carrying it up the right wing.
Willmar's got their two top D, Kabinia and Olsen out there right now. Just, they'll take charge of that middle.
Back out to the point. Quinn trying to gain control of a bouncing puck. Now walks it across the blue line. Quinn shooting, and that one got all the way through, and Knutson closing the pads in a hurry. Oh, we might have another penalty. We're going to have one aside here as Kabinia and Price went at each other, and they're both going to go here. See the save right there, and then play continues. Price, yeah, they both chopped, and they're going to take them both.
A little frustration in a one-goal game. It's a tight situation, boy. One thing can make a difference here, and they kind of got after each other. So we're going to look at still 5-on-4.
Coincidental minors at 11:08, and so the penalty or the power play is still in effect, as Dan said, for Armstrong Cooper, as they took one from each there. Kriesel bringing it into the Willmar zone.
Nice.
A minute to go in this power play for AC. They back off, and she comes into the circle and fires, and a nice stop by Knutson.
Boy, Knutson shut down. Don't give the rebound, but I'm telling you, Armstrong Cooper's got 3 people. Watch the move here now. She just takes the middle alley, and just a beautiful situation, and Armstrong Cooper kids were right there.
Back out to the point. Now it comes to Quinn. Giving it to Kriesel. And now Quinn. Quinn tapping it over to Aguado. Aguado getting a shot. And they jab at it, and then a couple of players hitting the ice hard there. See, a pretty good idea there, but it, you know, Aguado being a left-hand shot there, and couldn't quite get the stick angle there. They got a decent chance, but it looked like it might be even better than that. Quinn shooting, and into the number 30 on the chest of Knutson right there, and she'll make another stop.
Well, AC's really got this thing going. There's a good shot here. A little lower, though. Maybe hoping to get a stick on it, but make Knutson use her leg pads, not her glove. Get it down low.
Cardinals win the draw and get a big clear, as we'll go down to about 20 seconds to go now in the power play for Armstrong Cooper, and under 5 to play in the game. Still 1-0 Willmar. A goal late in the second period, and that pass gets away, and that interrupts that rush briefly. But now here comes Quinn. Got by the first wave, but then good help to cover her up. Back out top it comes. Quinn, a shot. First penalty is over. We're back to 5 aside, and Knutson will cover that one up.
That was by far, without any shadow of a doubt, the best power play Armstrong Cooper's had tonight. Controlled, set up good shots, got people in front of the net. Knutson makes one mistake, bang, puck's going to go in. Quinn really did a nice job on that power play, Jay. She really directed it and quarterbacked it very nicely.
All these face-offs become that much more important here. It winds up with Armstrong Cooper possessing briefly in the corner, but then taken away. Here comes Sydney Olsen, zipping it across. Maya Monson couldn't get to it. It's chopped right back in. And they nearly forced a turnover there. And they sweep it right back around. Monson couldn't get it out. Back to the blue line. That one deflects right out front, where it's picked up by Sydney Olsen and cleared to center.
Nice.
Nice pass back to the right side to Campion. Got it into the zone, but not too much farther. And now Maya Monson picking it up. And that pass through everyone, and Londerville will leave it for her D. Robideau. And not able to get it cleanly through to the neutral zone once again. There's Armstrong Cooper. Schneider now a nice pass up the left side. Here's Aguado teeing it up. And got pretty good wood on that one. Savannah Knutson over to make the stop here for Willmar. 3:17 to go in the hockey game. Still 1-0 Cardinals as Aguado got the shot away.
It was a great pass across ice there. Hit it right on the stick. Comes in and just throws a flutter puck. at Knutson. She had a little trouble with it, but she used smart, used her body behind it, so in case it slipped, she'd have her body to back her up.
Rush here, and Garberding shot deflecting wide. Cardinals get it right back, though. Tried to put it out front. Bailey Olson freeing it up again. It comes to the point where they keep it in, and Kobinia's shot is deflected wide. And Kobinia pinching in. She's fortunate she got that one, right?
It was danger, danger. Oh my gosh.
Now Kriesel picking it up. Lost it though at the center ice area. Now Price following up for Armstrong Cooper. And a missed chance to get that one out for Willmar there. They just kind of played it to the sideboards with no real intent there. Now Maya Monson picking it up again. She's had a pretty good game for the Cardinals. She's been around the puck a lot. And a good skater chases it down here. Maya Monson circling around behind and now shooting. It hits traffic in front. Never made it to the net. Robideau picking it up. We approach 2 minutes to play now. Couple more minutes for the Wings, so we'll keep our eye on their goaltender Launderville to see when they might decide to bring her off for an extra attacker. For now, she's in. Bank back around here. Hannah Kobinia. That one tipped out to center. Robideau back to pick it up here for Armstrong Cooper. Are you surprised she's still in the net, Dan, right now?
Going to go as soon as they can. They got to get it deep down in the zone.
Back across here, Hannah Schneider, and plays it in deep, and they're still making no move to pull their goaltender. Wow.
They're not waiting for a face-off.
And flipped ahead. Here it comes now. Bailey Olson picking it up. Olson to the middle. Down she goes, and then the puck taken eventually out of there by Haley Matson. Knocked loose. A minute to go in the game. And now picked up here and dumped on in. Bresnahan got it in deep. And now the Cardinals, though, control it. Bailey Olson will fire one down the rink and got it on net, and still in goal there was Launderville. Cardinals able to pin the puck in deep, and they'd like to eat up some time right now, and they're not going to get a chance to pull their goaltender the way it looks here, or at least not for very long.
And if you remember, don't even worry about going to the net. Just keep it on the sideboards there. One timeout.
And Maya Monson able to knock it back down deep. Just 10 seconds to go. Pass knocked down. They cannot get it out. Final seconds going to tick off, and the Willmar Cardinals get the victory here tonight as they hold on to beat Armstrong Cooper by a score of 1-0, and a nice performance in net by Savannah Knutson. We can see why they liked her coming into this game, Dan.
Yeah, she made some nice key saves, really controlled it when she needed to, directed rebounds off to the corner, stuck it in her guts and kept it there. Did a nice job. Played good overall defense overall from about midpoint in the second period down when they got the goal. But you know what? I think Armstrong Cooper grew as a team. I thought they played way, way better as the game went on, and I thought they were a way better team. If they would have played in the first period like they played in the third period, I don't think this would be a shutout game for them at all. They did a wonderful job. They grew up a lot, and I think they have a lot to be encouraged about by what they did tonight. But good for Willmar. That first line, Jay, they can play some hockey.
And they did a nice job of, there's no doubt they were on their heels a little bit in that second period. They did a pretty good job of not panicking and just fighting things off too, and sort of regrouped and came back out and played the type of third period that they were hoping to, and the type that they needed to protect the lead as well.
Absolutely, especially with the freshmen and sophomores that they have in this team. And frankly, this could be a pretty good hockey team in a couple of years that could do some contending in single A. So
Willmar will move into the semifinal round where they will be facing Princeton. A victor tonight, and Armstrong Cooper will go into the consolation bracket where they will take on North St. Paul Tartan. So hope you've enjoyed this telecast here tonight. As for John Jacobson, Dan Ficken, and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Again, your final here from New Hope Ice Arena is Willmar 1, Armstrong Cooper nothing. Happy New Year from CCX Sports.